Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. It is April the 1st, 2020. This is April Fool's Day, or in the Star Citizen universe, Triggerfish. And CIG have a joke with the Planetary Tech V5 flat Earth and flat planet stuff they just posted. So we're going to take a look at that. But there's also some rumours of stuff in-game that at least have some chance of being real as well, which we will talk about afterwards, that are not part of an April Fool's. So this year's Triggerfish April Fool's stuff from CIG is Planetary Tech V5, the flattening. Planar conversion is coming to the universe with Planet Tech V5, bringing our flat galaxy to life. We've always prided ourselves on being at the forefront of technical innovation, but also on including a degree of scientific accuracy that grounds Star Citizen's sci-fi universe in the realm of the somewhat plausible. Planet Tech V5 marks a significant step forward on both the tech and accuracy fronts, coming to the verse in an upcoming patch. All the major orbital bodies will be adjusted to reflect a profound scientific truth that cannot be ignored any longer. Flat planets and moons. We are so excited to finally share this plan with you. Yes, we know that we just came out with Planet Tech V4, but we don't see this as feature creep. This is a pillar of the game and a crucial change. The team has been full steam ahead on this for quite some time and can't wait to rid the universe of the spherical inaccuracies that currently plague it. We know that this revolution may come as a shock to some fans and backers. The topic of planetary sphericity, oh my god, I can't say that, is hotly debated amongst the top scientific minds of our modern world. And while many of you may remain skeptical, we're sure that in time you'll come around and end up on our level. So, just talking quickly about that April Fool's, it shows a level of acknowledgement and understanding that Star Citizen devs, or whoever's written this, has with silly things about Star Citizen, taking the piss out of itself a little bit. That's a good thing. By all major accounts, they are self-aware, they are able to go, look, talking about feature creep and we've been working on this for some time and stuff. I just think it's good references to stuff that CIG have previously said, but also problems that the community might have with certain bits of the development. I just liked it. I like the fact they've done a April Fool's and put a little tiny bit of time into typing out what's going on with it. They've even got a little FAQ, the flattening, and we know a change this big can be intimidating, and you may have questions about how V5 will change gameplay, lore, and everyday life in the verse. To that end, please refer to the following potentially common posed queries. Will I fall off the edge of a planet if I get too close? Yes, aside from being super accurate scientifically, we think this has exciting gameplay implications. There might be a valuable item, lucrative mission, or intriguing point of interest out near the edge, but are you brave enough to risk the long fall in its pursuit? It's what the developers refer to as a risk-reward situation, which promises to be very thrilling. What about water? What happens to water when it reaches the edge of a planet? Well, while most planets have been designed to alleviate this problem, we are considering adding a great waterfall to nowhere, flowing mysteriously off the side of Hurston in a patch down the line. How does atmosphere work on these flat planets? Somewhat obviously, flat planet atmospheres are contained within magic domes. How will this affect weather? All bad weather within the domes is caused by stasis clouds generated by bummer moods and negative vibes. Full systemic gameplay integration is planned for a later patch, but for now you'll come across randomly generated stasic clusters, I don't know how to say that word, that will thoroughly harsh your buzz. How will this affect gravity? While we are well aware that gravity is a lie created by ancient secret societies to control the masses, we are also aware that video games need physics, therefore gravity within the magic domes will be perceived as normal. If I get to the top of a mountain or really tall building, can I see all the way to the edge? This depends on the size of the planet. What's underneath the planet? Can we walk on the underside? If you can find a way to access the underbelly of a planet, traverse it at your own peril. The lizard people that dwell there don't necessarily suffer visitors gladly. Full lizard people functionality will be added in a subsequent patch. Do planets and moons still orbit? Planets don't orbit, they are fixed in place. This is stone cold science fact, so no more orbiting. That's an interesting thing they say that as well though, because we do know that in the future, CIG do want to have planets properly orbiting the sun and moons orbiting planets, and your quantum travel sort of like splines will have to be dynamic because they'll have to work out or at least follow the location you want to go to as you're traveling, because a planet's going to be moving as you are traveling to it. That's an interesting problem they have to solve, although they've sort of got the tech for it already. It's an interesting one, probably not something we'll see until server meshing. I know I'm relating April Fool's joke stuff to actual real in-game things, but, you know, how will this affect space travel? Space travel will, of course, no longer be possible, as outer space is obviously a fallacy. Landings, however, will be much easier. How will this impact the current lore? All previous patches, history, characters, and backstories will be retconned, having existed only as an elaborate fantasy set within a snow globe depicting the Stanton system. Like all major changes we make to the verse, you can expect to be kept up to date with this latest progress the team has made, with updates straight from the devs themselves. We can't wait to share more. Click here to learn more about the intricate society of lizard people who live on the underside of planets. And when you click there, it takes you to an April Fool's little picture, which I've put as my thumbnail as well. So I do like the self-awareness of that. Obviously, some of it's just ridiculous. In fact, I don't know why I said that. It's all ridiculous, but I liked the fact they are relating it to stuff they've previously said, and they're self-aware, which to me at least shows that the devs do listen to feedback and that sort of stuff, and they are aware of what people say and aware of what they say. So, yeah, cool little April Fools. I really like the pictures of the flat planets. Very, very cool. So, something that I have been bombarded with questions-wise over the last few weeks, especially yesterday, I want to talk about some sort of rumours that are ongoing at the moment. So, yeah, something that happened within the last 24 hours. Loads and loads of messages and questions about, is the Ares Inferno coming out with 3.9? So, this is a Crusader ship, and as far as I'm aware, it's not. It's not impossible, though, and it's not impossible that it's being worked on, but I do think it's unlikely it would come out for 3.9. I think, however, CIG are focusing on Crusader ships at the moment, especially with the Crusader landing zone Horizon being worked on as well. There's a lot of sort of like work that goes into branding and the pipeline for Crusader as a brand, and we know that they're working on the Mercury Star Runner for 4.1. They've been working on the Hercules Starlifter as well, and there's sort of like points around planets for the Genesis. The Ares ships themselves are fighter ships with size 7 guns attached to them, or size 7 guns with little fighters attached to them, whatever you want to, where you want to see that. But they're pretty simple, and because 3.9's got an Idris fight in it, a lot of people have thought, well, it makes sense that they've got this big sort of like anti-capital ship fighter that could be used for that. But as far as I'm aware, that's not going to be in 3.9. Could change, could be something magical that happens that I'm unaware of, but take that as it is. I would expect to see a lot of progress on lots of the Crusader ships this year, and maybe we would see the Ares at the end of 2020, potentially. Why is the constellation Taurus taking so long to release? So there's been a rumour, potentially that I started originally, but it's certainly a rumour going around that there's possible that a light rework of the constellation is coming at the same time that they release the Taurus. The Taurus should have just been a quick sort of like variant of the Constellation series. It's just a cut down version of it, at least in my head, and it was sort of like it's supposed to be in the game a little while ago, hasn't turned up yet. And it's very possible that they could be reworking some of the interior, maybe the cockpits of the constellations at the same time, maybe the areas where the P-52 parks, because we know that they're working on docking for 4.1 as well, and that would make sense that they get the parasite docking, P-52, P-72, working with the constellation at the same time, and that they've in fact said that. So it's possible they're doing some bits and bobs for that, and that the Taurus and the constellation rework will release at the same time. Maybe that is just a rumour, though. If they do rework the Constellation cockpits, please remove those struts. Rigid glass cockpits without the struts. That would be absolutely fantastic. A new Origin ship or vehicle in 3.9. So there's lots of questions about this. There was a little teaser a few weeks ago that Origin were working on something new as a ship manufacturer that might have a slant towards exploration, survey, or scanning. More precisely, the Imperial Cartographic Centre were involved with whatever the project was, and there was ICC mission chains that had Tessa Bannister in the game a while ago. So it's very possible that we have something that's detection or scanning based, or but that could touch on a lot of different sort of like potential roles and gameplay loops in the future. And we do know that CIG have been working on scanning and radar stuff. Obviously, it's incredibly important for the game, especially with their new building blocks UI stuff. They can actually start getting a lot of the core gameplay into the game in a much better state. It's expected that we will see something straight to flyable for Alpha 3.9 as well that hasn't been announced yet. So it's very possible that these things line up, and it's something from Origin that's going to be straight to flyable for 3.9. It's also possible that whatever the Origin teaser was, that it's going to be a separate concept sale for a ship or vehicle. As of the first quarter of 2020, there hasn't been a new ship sale of any kind. Normally, they would have started mid-February with a concept sale historically, but CIG are also moving towards a straight-to-flyable ship sort of sale model, but they'll have both. And that's sort of it for today. I hope you find some interesting April Fools or trigger fishes around the universe today. That typically, there's some quite good ones from various companies that I think the global situation at the moment, which is certainly not a joke, might have caused a little bit of humour to potentially be less appropriate or have a less manpower to be able to write these sort of like semi-elaborate April Fool's jokes. Also, not on April Fool's, Proxus at CIG has been promoted to Director of Platform Operations at Austin. Congratulations, he is someone that I've been friends with before he was an employee there, and I have, what do the kids say nowadays, mad respect for his skills and work ethic. Have you been tricked by any April Fools today? Have you seen any cool ones? Have you got any questions about what we talked about rumour-wise? Obviously, probably not about the flat earth stuff. That was clearly an April Fool's. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Very much appreciated. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. Every month we have a ship giveaway for Star Citizen. This month we are giving away an Anvil Arrow Light Fighter and game package with that, so you can have access to Star Citizen if you don't already. All you got to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during the month of March. There are full details in the description below. I am a shill for a couple of companies, NordVPN and NordPass. If you are looking for a VPN or a password management system, I recommend you check them out. They've got many benefits over free services, and as I'm pretty security conscious, I love those kind of services. Also, there's Shadow. If you are thinking about getting a new gaming rig or upgrading your gaming PC for Star Citizen or whatever, then consider Shadow instead. It is a internet cloud-based subscription service like Stadia, like GeForce Now, but this one gives you access to a full Windows 10 environment which is fully customizable, and that is significantly better in my opinion, allowing you to do a lot more with it. Check out the links below for them or use the code BoredGamer for discount. Also, if you wish to support the channel further, there is Patreon, there's the YouTube join member button down below. That really helps. This is a community supported channel and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the support that I get. If you want to share these videos, if you want to comment, give feedback, whatever, that is also hugely appreciated. Thanks very much for watching, guys. You take care and I'll see you in the verse.